Hi you guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Kia and this is my first video. So the content that I'll be posting on here will be hair and beauty, including skincare. As you know, you gotta keep the skin clear, period. I'm going to be also doing content on my fitness journey, cooking videos, because you know I like to whip it up in the kitchen. I also will be doing travel vlogs and here and there some Christian girl Bible talk. So yeah, today I will be making a whipped hair butter. So come along with me as I go get the ingredients and make it. I usually get all the oils for the hair butter from Walmart. I found that it's cheaper to get the oils from there rather than a hair store. And I do end up getting the African shea butter from the hair store because the Walmart didn't have any. I would also use a peppermint essential oil, but Walmart didn't have that either. I start off by boiling a pot of water and I put a metal bowl, usually it's metal, but something that can be heated on the stove, and I put that on top of the boiling water so that the bowl can get hot. Once the bowl is officially heated up by the boiling water, you're gonna scoop the African shea butter into the bowl along with the coconut oil. Once the shea butter start melting, you should get a consistency like this. You want it to get straight liquid. I'm going to add the coconut oil now. So yeah, get you a little spoon, start scooping. I personally like to melt the African shea butter with the coconut oil. It just makes the whipping process a little bit easier. I usually use the white shea butter, but I couldn't find that anywhere. Apparently everyone using it, apparently. But they both do the same thing. Both work better. I just prefer white. Now we are going to do the coconut oil. Put it up in there. Put that in there too. But yeah, the coconut oil will go up in there with the shea butter to melt. I be struggling to get it out, but yeah. I usually do half the jar because I make it for a lot of people actually. Yeah. So you don't have to keep the stove on while the bowl is on the pot. As long as the water underneath is at boiling temperature, hot enough to warm up the bowl, you can turn off the stove. Once the consistency is like this and there's no more clumps, the coconut oil and the African oil has fully liquefied. We're going to transfer it over into the fridge or freezer. I do the freezer because it's faster. And I let it sit in there for about 5 minutes to cool down. So this is the consistency that you get after the oil has sat in the freezer. I let it sit in there for about 40 to 45 minutes. I forgot about it, but that's okay. As long as it's cooled down, it's still liquidy in the middle, but as long as it's cooled down, it will work and it won't harden after you whip it. Okay, so now that we have our consistency, we're gonna start mixing our oils. I brought two. You only need one. But you only need one. So I don't really use measuring cups or anything. I've been making it for a while, so I just know how much to pour, I guess. But if you want more of like a fluffy type of whipping butter, use less oils. No matter how much oil you do add, it's still going to come out fluffy. It's not going to be a thick fluffy. So Next we have the grapeseed. Oh, brand new. That smells good. So I'm also going to be talking about how I use the whipping butter, because you can't just apply it just to apply it. You gotta apply it the right way for it to work. So I'll be adding the whole thing of the rosemary, tea tree, and vitamin E. They're all very good for hair growth. And if you have an itchy scalp, it definitely helps. Lastly is the extra virgin olive oil and the peppermint oil. I use the peppermint oil because it smells good, and sometimes the oil, I just don't like the smell of just oils, to be honest. So I use peppermint. Sometimes I do use lavender. Lavender just got a nice smell. I can't open this. Please hold. Got it open. So I'm not going to use a lot of the peppermint oil, because if you use too much, I get headaches when I use too much. So not a lot, but enough. Right. And now we're gonna pour the virgin oil. It doesn't matter which order you pour it, to be honest. It's gonna all do the same, so it's gonna get wet. But yeah, I use about half of this because this is a lot. But yeah. So lastly, we're going to use this concoction. I use this when I run out of hair butter, and this stuff right here. Yeah. So this is biotin hair oil, black castor hair oil, and the hair oil. I don't know if I said flaxseed, but flaxseed hair oil too. But this right here is right. This is it. Get you some. Not mine, but get you some. Now we blend. Blending kind of varies, but you just blend it until it get a whip type consistency, like whipped cream kind of, but a little bit thicker. Okay, so if it's taking a long time for the liquid to turn into a whip, you can put it back in the freezer. It usually turns into like a solid type of form for about 20 minutes. That's what I had to do this time. So I got a consistency like that. Don't mind the holes, I had to test it out. But it should turn into a whip after you put it back in the freezer and it look like this. So after you're done whipping the butter, you should get a consistency like this. It's very thick and fluffy. So yeah. So we're going to take our spatula and we're going to put it in this, and we will be transferring the butter into mason jars. Okay, so if you haven't baked before, you're gonna fill this up. Fill it up like a halfway kind of ish, and then squeeze it down just a little, and you get it like this. We're gonna take our mason jar and just make it all cute or whatever. Why would it fall out like that? And then it comes out all cute like. So you do not have to put it in this. You can literally just scoop it up and put it in a jar or a container. Usually when it's left over, I put it in the shea butter container that it came in. Oh, this one didn't come out as pretty. Yeah. Well, but there probably will be lots left over. I definitely made a lot. But you definitely don't have to put it in this. I'm extra. Very extra. Okay, so now that we made the butter, let's talk about how we actually use it and why use it. So the hair follicle, the hair shaft, is made up of different parts, and the part that we're going to be talking about is the hair cuticle. So basically, when your hair is very dry or there's just not a lot of moisture, it's because the hair cuticle is closed. And it's very hard for moisture to get through that cuticle because it is closed. So basically, think of it as a door. The hair cuticle is the door, and you can't get through the door until the door opens. The moisture can't get through the door unless the door is open. So what I do to obtain moisture in my hair is I use the lock method, the LOC or LCO, which basically just stands for liquid oil cream or liquid cream oil. The butter would be considered a oil, even though it is a butter. It is considered an oil. So you would use warm water to open up the cuticle. That allows the moisture to come in once the warm water hits the cuticle. So after you use the warm water to open the cuticles, the moisture now comes from a water-based moisturizer or a leave-in conditioner. Sometimes I use Shea Moisture's leave-in conditioner. I usually use this one, but sometimes I add more water to it just to give it a little bit more of a water consistency. I also use, I believe it's pronounced As I Am. The way I use the butter helps to obtain moisture. A lot of people mistake or believe that oil and butters actually moisturizes their hair. But I don't know if y'all guys heard, but oil and water do not mix. Think of it like an Italian dressing. The oil does not mix, no matter how much you shake it. But yeah, the butter should not be used by itself because it's not a moisturizer. You should definitely want to use it, or should always use it with some type of water-based moisturizer, along with some liquid like the warm water, because the warm water will definitely help open up your cuticles. After you use the butter, it will close the cuticles. So when I use the butter this way, my hair is able to stay moisturized for weeks, especially when I'm doing my protective styles. I definitely do this before I get the protective style, protective. And when I take down my braids, my hair is still very much moisturized. Thanks guys for watching my video and tuning in. If you guys do decide to make the butter, please comment down below and let me know how it goes. Before we end this video, I want to give you guys a little quote, a little Bible verse. So it's, "Be strong, be courageous, and do not fear or dread, because the Lord our God is with you." Bye guys. See you in the next video.